So in this video, I'm basically going to pull out everything that's both in my wife's and in my own 72-hour kit and share a little why I feel like it's important. Feel free to take all of this with a grain of salt. Everything in here is from basically a Boy Scout's perspective. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still think this stuff is all important, but I focused pretty much on things I would imagine I would use while camping, as that's what I would imagine this bag would be used for in the case that our home was destroyed, or if we had to leave for whatever reason. This all to say it's not complete yet. I'm still working on building it out, but it's pretty close. Everything, as always, will be linked on my website gunmanusa.com under the kit page. Huge thank you to the channel sponsor, US Arms Co. You can use code GUNMAN15 for 15% off their website. They sell awesome rifles, bolt guns, and much more. Now, what I would like to do at some point is get with an actual survivalist and make a sweet video on tips and tricks that they have, but for now, just take what you see here and add to your kit what you're missing that you think would be useful for you. So here we go. First off, the bag itself is the Wandered Hexad Duffel, which is traditionally a travel camera bag, but it's better serving its purpose as this. I'm actually a huge fan of these. I wouldn't say it's the most comfortable bag, but if you get their padded straps, it's really not bad at all. Of course, there are actual hiking backpacks out there, which may be a better fit for you, but I personally couldn't find a good one with the clamshell zipper for ease of access and better organization, so here we are. I'm going to be reorganizing this after, but for now, things are placed in no real particular order. In the top pocket, we have a walkie-talkie. The other is in my wife's bag. These aren't anything special, just a way of communicating outside of cell phones. These were just ones that we have lying around. They will soon be upgraded to something much better. If you're looking for a good resource of information, there is lots of good comms info that can be found on a page called Comms and Logistics on Instagram, and I'll make sure to link them below. It's not sponsored, but that is where I've personally learned a lot. We also have some sugar snacks, a flashlight, a knife, pen and Sharpie, microfiber cloth, a USB with a backup of important documents, a can opener, my gas mask filter, a compass, and a physical map of the area. The only things I keep outside of the bag is this fixed blade from Gerber called the Strong Arm, which has actually been awesome, my gas mask from Mirra Safety, which I'm going to talk about in a second, and my water bottle. And on the very side pocket, I have about $150 in cash. Back to the gas masks. Full disclosure, I did ask Mirra Safety to send these over for me to review, which they did, but before I reached out to them, I did a ton of research to find somebody making good, high quality gas masks, and I couldn't find anybody else who did it as well as Mirra does. There are a couple options out there, some very expensive and others more budget, but I felt like for what Mirra had to offer, they genuinely had the best price and product line, especially if you're a glasses wearer, which obviously that was important to me. They actually have prescription lenses that you can attach to the inside that surprisingly work perfectly. I was skeptical about these, but they don't impede my vision at all. Very impressed with what Mirra Safety is doing. I genuinely believe that they are one of the best companies to get a gas mask from. Currently, they have these 3 options for adults, and they have the glasses insert for 2 of them, but you have to buy them separately for each because they aren't cross-compatible. I chose the wide window to put the glasses in because I could imagine myself wanting as large of a field of view as possible if I were in a situation that required these. Though the shooter's cut does make aiming down sights much easier, it is still very possible with the wide view option though. I carry the mask in this drop leg pouch, which I thought was more convenient and protective than hanging it on the outside of my bag or stuffing it on the inside. I'm anticipating the release of the glasses option for the newest model, the CM8M, which is the best of both worlds here. It's much more in line with what I would imagine I would run, but until I can put glasses in there, I'm fine with the option that I do have. The filters I have are the NBC77 SOF and their Particle Max filter. The NBC is basically their universal filter that covers a wide variety of both solid and liquid particles. They actually have a huge list on their website. You can read through all of them. The Particle Max is basically just for bio threats, but Mirra has a ton of info on their website again if you want to know more about what each filter does. Let me know if you have any questions on these, and I'll go over what I didn't cover here in a follow-up video. If we open up the main zipper, we have 3 sections of storage. Let's start on the right side. In the bottom section, we have a lot of field craft things. Glow sticks, hand warmers, a tin pan, emergency candle, electric tape, this giant flint and steel, which is honestly awesome, extremely easy to start a fire with, a can full of dry materials, binoculars, 3 types of super glue zip ties, this cable that allows you to easily cut off big branches, 9mm, 5.56 gum, 100 feet of paracord, a whistle, and a full roll of heavy duty duct tape, all things I could imagine myself using on a camping trip. Moving up to the top pocket, we have a heavy duty survival blanket which folds down nicely and is made from a nice thick tarp material that's wind and waterproof, flares. We have toiletries, which is basically just toilet paper, toothpaste, toothbrush, floss, and Q-tips. Then here we have 3 full freeze-dried meals that won't expire until September of next year, and I try to switch these out a year before, so this September I'll be buying new ones. We have our water purification bag, which includes water purifying drops and a life straw, and then we have a medical bag which includes surgical instrument kit, which I hope I'll never have to open, wrap, gauze, chapstick, callus cushions, triangular bandages, and fully sealed and sanitized gloves in case my wife has to perform a surgery on me, which again I hope never happens. On the left side I focus mostly on clothing, so we have some rubber textured gloves, some spare socks, some more gloves, a water resistant hoodie, 2 pair of extra pants, a beanie, a more comfortable mask than wearing the full protective option, and a lightweight spare jacket. I also keep one of these in here to keep the rain off me to make sure I stay dry, and I also keep a larger, more detailed map and anything else I wouldn't fit into the other 2 pouches. I do have one other piece of kit that I don't keep in the bag, I actually keep in my car. This is from a company called Live the Creed, and it is their Get Home Alive kit. This is definitely something I recommend everybody has. I think Live the Creed did a great job of putting together a kit that just made sense. It has a lot of different things that covers big injuries to small, and honestly just having one of these in the car makes a lot of sense to me. They also have a bunch of attachment methods which allows you to throw this onto a plate carrier or just connect it to yourself in any way that makes sense. So check out Live the Creed. They have this already put together medical kit that just covers almost all of your bases. I found these guys just recently after doing a bunch of research on a bunch of different medical bags, and after reaching out to them and talking to them, they were able to send me over a couple things which already I'm very impressed with. These guys definitely know what they're talking about, they're well researched, and from my experience so far with their products, I think that they're a great option. Now my wife's bag is set up pretty similarly to mine, but her focus was more on medical supplies as she is a nurse, but she also has a fire starter, water purification, meals, and other essential things like clothing. But I really did want to keep her pack as light as possible so she could just grab it and go. These 2 bags again are nowhere near done, not to mention these things are less useful if you don't have an emergency action plan in place. So with all that, this is just a video sharing the basics of what I keep on hand and what I think is important to have. But with that, I'll possibly be making a new series on fieldcraft and survival tutorials in order to better teach how to utilize these things to the best of your ability. There's honestly so much to learn, but I think having a basic 72-hour kit is a must. Let me know in the comments what you think would be interesting to see for a fieldcraft guide, and until next time, keep developing your skills in firearms and do things to make sure that you are more self-reliant. You are your own best defense. Always keep in mind why you train. For me, it's so I can be a force for good in this world, and also so I'll never be left defenseless or at the mercy of another. I do have new videos and new merch coming out soon. I'll see you in the next one.